Hey, my name is Tammy, and thank you for coming to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about you. What are you doing? What are you thinking about? What is your mind thinking about? What are you spending your time on? When I tell a client or someone when I'm speaking in public, do you want to know how many times a day that you think about something? They are always shocked to know how many times a day they do. So think about it from this perspective. We speak an average of 120 to 125 words per minute. Guess what our thoughts are? 1,300 to 1,500 thoughts per minute. If you think about that, your brain is assimilating a lot of information at one time. If you are not concentrating or paying attention to how you feel and how a certain thought or a way of thinking about something is affecting you, then you are allowing something to control you instead of you being the instigator of something different happening in your life. So let's talk about how this works. Very often in this life, we will have a predicament. I'm going to call it a predicament because typically that's all it is. It's a scenario, it's something we are encountering or an experience. It is nothing more than a predicament. And if you can change your mind, and you can look at this differently, and you can change the way that you view it, you can heal this thing that is going on in your life, you can overcome it, and you can experience something completely different. It's like this. If you have a scale and you think a certain thought, then know that that thought is going to dominate, or that good thought or the limiting thought is going to dominate that thing. We're not taught in this world, in this lifetime, to think for ourselves, to actually authenticate ourselves, to validate ourselves. We're always looking for validation outside of us. We are the ones that are supposed to give this to ourselves. So I'm going to ask you to consider thinking about you today. Think about what it feels like to be in the predicament that you are in. Get in that. Just embrace it. Run into that cesspool or that mud or whatever you want to figuratively think about it as. The quicksand. Maybe it's a boss. Maybe it's a job. Maybe it's a career move. Maybe it's needing to go to school. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a family member that is constantly misbehaving really on your behalf, and you do not know that they're trying to instigate or conspire with you spiritually to get your growth done. I will tell you what we typically do is that we ignore these things and we fold them up neatly and we try to put them in a closet. God, one day, the Spirit started to show me what that actually looks like. And let me tell you what happened. So I'm not wanting to deal with something because I'm wanting to make myself comfortable, which is what most of us do in our lives. We don't directly go in and address things. We hide it, we conceal it, we try to run from it, we try to get ourselves comfortable, we try to find other things to spend our time on, we try to go see a movie or play a game or whatever it is that is your outlet. If we would just face it and embrace it and ooze ourselves in it, then we could actually change our minds about it. So I was doing this thing that I'm talking to you about today, and God said, I'm going to show you what this looks like in the non-physical. So I had this thing come up, and all of a sudden I saw a closet, and I pushed this thing in the closet, and I shut the door. And I just knew that this was not going away, but that I had just moved it from my current experience, what I could have experienced in that moment, right then immediately, I had moved it over to the side to some place that I thought was convenient. It's not really convenient, guys, because let me tell you, with time, and each time that something came up for me to address, I did the same thing, and automatically I would see to my right, I would see the closet door open, I would see me push the stuff into the closet, and I would see the closet door shut. Eventually, with time, the closet started getting full, and I started wondering what's going to happen when the closet gets full. Emotionally, we are moving these things into a closet. I started wondering what was going to occur. As I got near how many things had occurred to get me to that place. then I knew when the closet was full. And I remember watching myself figuratively, because God was letting me see this, pushing the door so hard to get it shut and going, uh-oh, next time I'm going to have to deal with it because there's no more room in the closet for me to set this aside. And the next time that I tried to put something in there, as soon as I opened the door, it all came crashing in upon me. Did you know that's really the way that our lives are? These things that we are experiencing, the discomfort of where you currently are, what you are thinking, how you are feeling, is actually on purpose. It's on purpose to get you to focus upon it, to get you to look at it, to get you to feel it for yourself. Validate yourself, authenticate yourself, look at yourself as valuable. You are so important. You are so precious. Your contribution to this world is so needed. And it is in you being you that you get it. Think about not pushing things into a closet. Think about coming out and just holding that thing in your hand and saying, wow, this really doesn't feel good. I don't like this. I don't like being in this predicament. Embrace it. Feel it. And then you can ask yourself, is there something I can do about this immediately? And just sit with it for a few minutes. Think about what it feels like to be in this position. Think about what it feels like and how long it has been going on in your life. It doesn't matter how long. What matters is this moment. What are you going to do with it right now? It's a gift. It is on purpose. Look at it, face it, and decide, what am I going to do with this now? If you can let it go and you can move to a better feeling thought, then do that. I am working with a physicist. I think that I've mentioned this in another YouTube, and I absolutely love Dr. Lane. And one of the things that I've learned from him is that in the dopamine system, when we are using that pathway in the brain, we feel everything. In serotonin, we do not feel anything. Serotonin is about goal-oriented. If you could just do a simple thing of, I need to do something about a decision about my job or about a relationship or about a career choice or about going to school or not, and you can just look at that thing, and instead of feeling it, after you feel it, after you embrace it, after you acknowledge that it's actually there, and you can then move to, what can I do about it? If there's just one simple, small thing that I can do, what is that one thing that I can do today? And if you will move your thought system into what Dr. Lane calls the serotonin, then you will be more goal-oriented. And then there will be a difference and a change, and you no longer feel the pain. Embracing it, acknowledging it is the first step. The second step, think of something. It could be where you're going. It could be what you're hoping for the future. It could be thinking about what you really want. That is moving into serotonin. That will calm everything down. Guys, you are in charge of more than you can possibly imagine in this lifetime. And it is with great love for you that I come today, just wondering, how are you? What are you doing? How are you feeling? What are you using your thoughts for? And how are you growing? Are you growing or are you stuck? We'll talk about this some more in another video. Thank you for today.